Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for Teen Wolf Season 4, Episode 6, Orphaned. And wow, this episode was absolutely amazing. I loved this episode. I thought this episode was fantastic. I mean, best episode of the season. Once again, best episode of the season. For the past, since the show started, it's been best episode of the season. I mean, Season 4, every episode's been best episode of the season. That's why it's the best season, probably. We're at the halfway point of the season, so obviously stuff is going to start to get crazy. So, yeah, let's just get to it, because overall, I love this episode. I loved everything that was going on in it. It was really crazy. All three plots were really interesting. There were 3 plots going on this episode, and they were all really, really good. So we start off where it's 4 weeks earlier, and we see Kate again. Yeah, we haven't seen Kate since episode 2, and we see Kate again. She's in the backseat of the car. She wakes up, it's raining, she grabs her gun, there's a cassette in the car's front seat. Why is there a cassette? I don't know. She grabs it and it reads, "Play Me." She puts the tape into the player and there's a man talking about the Hale family pendant that helped the young werewolves learn control. Now, next, in the present time, we see Kate questioning an assassin about the tape she was given. She wants to know who sent her the tape. She asks if he received one too. He says no. However, he does reveal a couple of teenagers were also given some. Probably Garrett and Violet, because they are the teen assassins, of course, in Beacon Hills. And, yeah, that's what's going on. So, there's rushes in the locker room after the incident with Violet and Garrett. The cops take Violet away, and Garrett is missing. They arrest Violet because they don't trust her, obviously. And Scott tells his father, what exactly was going on there. Because Scott wanted his father to know, what exactly was happening. So, oh, I did forget to say, one of the other victims made a huge mistake of shooting Kate because she transformed into a were-jaguar and proceeded to finish him off. And basically, Violet's brought into custody by, Deputy Parrish and Sheriff Stilinski and Agent McCall. And they tried to figure out how she got her hands on such a dangerous weapon. And Violet gave Scott the major side eye as she was escorted away, which could only mean she had something planned. What she had planned, was, very, we don't know what she had planned yet. They really don't trust her right now because she's one of the assassins. Now, she's denying. No, she's playing a little game of deny. However, they know that she is the one that's committing these murders because she had the thermocut wire. How dumb can you be? I mean, she just had it, with her. How dumb can you be? I mean, she's not a good assassin because she's really dumb, honestly. She really is dumb. But yeah, she definitely is very dumb here. And that's when Agent McCall hits Violet's weak point. He used her orphan status as a way to fire her up. Yeah, we find out that Violet's an orphan. And, he says, I think I should call your parents. Oh, that's right, you don't have any parents. That's why they call you the orphans. So, yeah, that was definitely, very interesting, and, that was, harsh, definitely. So, meanwhile, Brett, that one of those lacrosse players, who was, drugged with the Wolfsbane, he is kind of having a little seizure. Now, we see the return of Dr. Deacon. We have not seen Dr. Deaton, all season, but we finally see him again, and he's trying to make a small incision to remove the poison, but Brett is proving too strong, and he has to be, and, Derek has to hold him still, because, he can't contain because he's losing his powers, and basically, it's Derek, Styles, they're there, and thankfully Peter walks in, knocks Brett out, and when Deacon saves Brett, Brett begins uttering the sun, the moon, the truth. Now, we go back last week, that girl in the very beginning, I don't remember what her name was, but the girl that got killed by Garrett was uttering that same exact phrase. Now, we finally find out what that means in this episode, because Peter and Derek immediately recognize the mantra. It's a Buddhist, Satomi, Peter says. And we see an image of the old werewolf woman who resided in Mrs. Yukimura's internment camp all those years ago. Now, there's a little bit more than that going on there. The sun, the moon, the truth, Dr. Deaton says, basically means things that never, things that can never be hidden. You can never hide the sun, you can never hide the moon, and you can never hide the truth. And, that's what the sun, the moon, the truth means. We find out what it means, right in the scene. I actually thought that was very interesting when we found out what it means. I also thought it was funny when, Peter punched Brett, and he says, I guess I still have a little werewolf strength myself, because, as we know, Derek is losing his powers, but Peter still has his powers, so, yeah. So then Liam and Scott, they're bonding by trying to figure out what was up with Garrett, because they can't find Garrett anywhere. And basically what ends up happening here is Scott went through Garrett's locker. He found all of the cash, and this had special significance because Mrs. McCall was 3 months late on a power bill. So that makes perfect sense as to why, because Garrett had taken all the money. So yeah, Garrett's the one who took the money, and that was definitely very interesting. And Liam is running through the woods with Mason, but before long, Liam does take off. He's hit by a car. Garrett gets out of the car with a dagger, and I just thought this whole scene was very, very intense. And we don't know what happens to Liam after that. I thought they were gonna kill off Liam or something, but I'm like, Liam's one of the big ones, so they can't kill him off yet. Now he stabbed Liam with his acrostic of death, put him in a deep, deep well, and meanwhile, Lydia, Stiles, and Scott, they did not show up to class. By the way, where the hell was Kira in this episode? She was not in this episode at all, not even mentioned. I don't know where she was. Now, Malia sat in her seat. She hears a voice to let her out to Derek. I'll talk about, Malia in a second. But, once he discovered baby Beta was missing, Scott went searching for Liam. And Garrett calls on Liam's cell and said that he wanted his money back and Violet, or else Liam met his end, because he doesn't want Violet arrested. Violet's his girlfriend, obviously, so he wants Violet. All Scott needs to do was attack the car that was moving Violet, and he says if you can't stop one car, then one little Beta is gonna die. And I thought that was definitely a very interesting line, the way that worked. And basically then what happens is Violet is being transferred, and Scott is with Garrett. And Garrett and Scott tail the car, but before they can stop the car themselves, someone has gone into it first. The SUV has been overturned, and Sheriff Stilinski, while not dead, is really shaken up. So next, a couple Berserkers come onto the road, and Garrett thinks that he can battle them, but he proves no match for them. He's quickly stabbed in the heart by one. Another knocks out Scott, and yeah, so bye-bye Garrett. Garrett's dead, I guess. Honestly, does anyone give a shit? So yeah, basically what ends up happening there, is the Berserkers also stab Scott, Dr. Deaton, and Chris, because Chris Argent does come up to him, and basically, had stabbed Scott and Dr. D, and then we see Chris, who, Chris was, with the Wolf Hunters, with, Araya. I guess he decided not to, be with them, which was the right choice to do, because, he is one of Scott's closest allies, so they had to pull the nasty thing out from his side, and Scott revealed that it was Kate and the Berserkers doing all the damage. They had Violet, who would lead to Liam. So, they were trying to find, where Liam was, and basically, what is happening is, Liam struggles to get out of the well. He's climbing high, but then he falls, and after he gathers himself, he has a flashback to the advice that Scott's given him about control, about how he needs to access his anger, about how to summon his strength, because, Liam has a lot of anger problems and things like that, so he kind of tries to use this to his advantage. So, what Scott and Chris decide to do, they arrive at a building, and they hopefully to find Kate. He's brought his big guns to deal with the Berserkers. And in the warehouse, Kate says, you shouldn't have come, and Scott says they want to talk to Violet. And, Kate tells him to walk away, but Chris did not listen and begins shooting. Kate and her Berserkers then attack, and in the forest, I'll talk about, oh yeah, that's the other plot. Chris and Scott do their best against Kate's croonies, but they're not getting very far. A lot of intense shit's going down right now. Scott is thrown through one of the walls, finds Violet murdered. One of Kate's henchmen is about to kill Chris when she says no. So Violet was murdered. So Violet and Garrett, the two teen assassins, they are dead, which honestly is a good thing because it kind of moves the story along more. Really shows how fast-paced Teen Wolf is. Now, Scott is crestfallen because now, with Violet gone, it seems as if he'll never be able to find Liam. Now, Liam is still struggling in the well, and he lets out a massive roar, and Scott hears him, and just as Liam's about to fall again, Scott grabs his arm, and Liam's okay. So Scott and Styles, so he saved Liam. Liam was okay, and thank God he was okay, because, it could have been really bad there. So Scott and Styles, they're unloading the money he took from Garrett's locker, and out of the bag also falls a cassette tape, the same cassette tape that, we saw that Kate had in the very beginning of the episode. So that cassette tape, that's very interesting that, Kate has that as well. She had the same exact cassette tape. I definitely find that very interesting that she had that same cassette tape. But yeah, that was definitely a very, very interesting that they found that tape. I don't know, where that's going to lead or whatever, but, basically, that's basically what ended up happening. And, Scott might end up saving his mom from debt after he counts all that cash still in his room, because they have a lot of cash there. And then probably the most surprising scene of all, well, actually not surprising if you look back to last year, after a fight with Scott and Chris, Peter found Kate in the sewer, and Peter knew her rage was getting worse and she was losing control. However, they did have one thing in common. They want mutually assured destruction. And, Peter said, I can offer control, I can teach you, and Peter wanted his money back. But Kate said, you know what, I don't think that's all you wanted. And, Peter, tells her probably the most important thing that he's wanted, which is, I definitely understand why he wants this, because he's wanted this for a while. He says, what I want is what I've always wanted. Then he whispers in his ear and he says, power. Now, this makes perfect sense. If you guys go back to last year in Season 3, in the mid-season finale, Peter wants it to be the alpha. So Peter wants power, and Kate's going to give it to him, and I don't know what's going to happen to Peter. Peter wants that power, and Kate's going to give it to him, but Kate's not to be trusted, obviously, so something bad's going to happen to Peter. I don't know what, but it's definitely going to be interesting to definitely see what happens there, and I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen. So overall, I really enjoyed the main plot. I thought the main plot was very, very strong. I really liked it. A lot of interesting things going on there. Let's go to Lydia and Styles. They were visiting Deputy Parrish to the station, and they revealed to Parrish that he is on that deadpool, which we don't know about. He's very clueless to everything. He even called it a hit list when they called it a deadpool, and he's worth $5 million, and Lydia says that they need Meredith's help to crack the last cipher. And, Deputy Parrish is reluctant to help them because the last time she tried to help them, Lydia almost gave her a nervous breakdown, and she almost killed her. So, they don't know if it's the best idea, but they do arrive at Aiken House to get help from Meredith. And, Meredith says she wants to help, but that she can't give them the third cipher key because he doesn't want her to reveal it. They ask who, and Meredith says the benefactor. So, basically, Lydia questions Meredith. She wants to know the identity of the benefactor, and Meredith refuses to reveal anything. She screams, I don't know, goes into a banshee scream, and, it's louder than, Lydia's, definitely, because it apparently makes her ears bleed. And Styles and Lydia, they do attempt to crack the final code. They didn't get much help from Meredith. However, Styles says that maybe the final cipher isn't someone who has already died, like was true with the other ciphers. Because, before the password was Allison, then the password was, I don't remember what the other password was, but maybe someone who is going to die, and this makes all of us freak out, because Lydia closes her eyes, she channels something, she blindly types a name on the keyboard, and it's Derek, and it cracks the code, and Meredith is also on that list. Now, that is huge, because this means that Derek is going to die this season. If Derek is on that list, this is a Deadpool of people that are going to die. Derek is going to die this season, and that's not a good thing at all. So, Derek's probably going to die this season, and I don't know what this means, but I'm pretty sure that Derek's going to die. So, yeah, that's pretty huge. So, Lydia calls Parrish to get protection for Meredith, but Parrish says that Meredith has hung herself, so, Meredith killed herself, basically. So, yeah, that's what happened there. So definitely that was very interesting, and I really liked the Styles and Lydia scenes in this episode. I thought they were definitely very good scenes, and I really liked their plot. I thought their plot was definitely very, very interesting, and yeah, very interesting, definitely. I really enjoyed their plot. The third plot had to do with Malia and Derek, and basically Malia is called out of class by Derek. They are searching for Brett's pack, because Brett had that Wolfsbane, and, he was bitten. Obviously, he has some sort of pack. And basically what happened was, they were trying to find Brett's pack, pretty much. Yeah, that's what they were doing. They were trying to find his pack, and, basically, they searched high and low for Brett's pack. However, a rifty clue about Buddhists changed their course. The trail led to an entire pack dead due to poisoning, yet one was still holding on, and that was Brayden. Yes, Brayden is the one that they found. So yeah, I don't know what this means, but they found Brayden, so obviously this does mean something. They kept searching for the pack and everything, and, they did find Brayden. So I don't know exactly what this is going to mean, but Brayden is, still alive, so, definitely they are probably going to use this to their advantage now that they found Brayden. And, definitely that was very interesting. I thought that plot was also very interesting, and I overall really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was definitely very interesting that they found Brayden. But overall, I absolutely love this episode. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. As I said, we're at the halfway point of the season. It looks like next week things are going to start to get crazy. It looks like the school's going to be, quarantined, and everyone's going to get infected by something. I don't know. Is this Teemo for the strain? I don't know. But let's talk about next week's episode. Alright, I'm very scared for Derek now. Derek is on that deadpool list. He is not dead yet. He was the password, and he is not dead yet. Does this mean that he's going to die this season? I'm pretty much confirming that Derek is probably going to die this season. It's pretty much confirmed by him being on that deadpool list that he's going to die this season. It's pretty much confirmed by that. I'm not gonna, throw anything out there, but I'm just gonna confirm probably that he is probably going to die this season. So yeah. Now that Kate's out there, how is she going to, Peter wants that power. I feel like Peter's now gonna be a villain. He's going to work with Kate. She's gonna try to give him the power. But here's the thing, Peter. You cannot trust Kate. Kate is doing exactly what she did to Derek. Kate is making you fall onto her spell. And it's not going to work, because she did this to Derek, and, with Derek, when she did this, he turned young, and basically, that's how you got yourself into this mess. So, Peter, I don't know what's going to happen with Peter. We're definitely going to have to see what happens there. I like the Derek and Malia scenes. I like seeing people have scenes with people they haven't had scenes with before, and Derek and Malia, that was definitely very interesting. What are they going to do with Brayden? I'm pretty sure that they're going to use Brayden to their advantage, because Brayden is a personal, Brayden and Derek, the last time we saw them, they had a lot of chemistry in episode 3. So, I'm definitely thinking that Derek and Brayden, they are going to have some sort of chemistry. They are going to get together somehow. I don't know exactly how, but they're going to get together somehow, and something's going to happen with them. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with them, but we're going to have to see. As far as Lydia and Deputy Parrish go, I don't know what's going to happen with Deputy Parrish. I don't know why he's still on that list. I mean, he's not a mythical creature of any kind. I feel like Deputy Parrish is going to be turned into something, because he's not a mythical creature right now, and everyone else is on that list is some sort of creature, whether they're a Wendigo, Were-Jaguar, werewolf, whatever they are on that list. Banshee, anything, they're on that list. Well, Sile's, of course, on that list because he's involved with all this shit, but as far as Liam goes, I feel like Scott is definitely going to help Liam now. Now that Garrett and Violet are dead, pretty much Kate is doing her own work now, because for a while Garrett and Violet were doing all the dirty work, and now they can't because they're dead. So, because they were killed by her Berserkers, or whatever you want to call them, her Berserkers, or whatever you want to call them. And also, I think Scott is going to use that money to fix the power, use it to fix the power outage and everything, because they need power, because if they don't have power, the fridge is, everything in the fridge is going to go bad. So he's going to probably use that money to help his mom with the power situation. I really hope he does that, because that way they will be able to have power, they'll be able to turn the power back on. I really hope that works out for them as well, because I don't want, them not to have power. I mean, that's really dumb that they don't have power, that they turn off their power on them. But overall, I love this episode. This was by far the best episode of the season. Just, wow, episode 6 is always so, so good. And definitely this was a very good 6th episode. Last year we got Motel California, which was also a huge episode. And this episode was bigger, definitely. This season is definitely shaping up to be probably the best season in the show. I'm definitely looking forward to the last 6 episodes. But that's it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for either another classic review or for a Pretty Little Liars. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.